This is one of the dahlia experiments I did. Last year, I grew dahlias from seed in these large pots, and I did try to save tubers as I usually do, but I already did a video on how those tubers did not turn out. I think they froze and then they kind of liquefied. So they were in plastic bags and covered in saran wrap. That was a new way I tried this year. At the end of this season, I'm going to try peat moss in plastic zip bags in my basement. The last 2 years I used the garage, and I think it gets too cold in there. Okay, so anyway, the first experiment I did was to leave one of the dahlia tubers in this black pot. It's against the southern wall in my house, where I also do my winter sowing. And because it was in a black pot and protected, blueberry bushes there, I thought it might be safe. And I did cover it with a plastic bag, and I added leaves to the pot to protect it from the cold or insulate it. And then I covered it with boards on top. So the main thing I've heard about dahlias is they don't like to get wet and soggy or too cold. So I was hoping that I would prevent both of the things. This basket is here because I did see, let's see, a little dahlia sprout right here. And then now, this week I see another one. This was the original stem. And there might be some more under there. I haven't moved the leaves around. I had to put the basket on because I noticed already the squirrels had been digging. So it looks like there's definitely one dahlia here coming up and possibly another little sprout there. It looks like that was successful, and it has rained a lot, the last couple of weeks that I've actually had it open. So it's done okay. It's not too bad. So that was one success. I'm excited about that. And we'll see how it progresses. Okay. Now, the next dahlia experiment I tried was, I usually start the dahlia seeds in big pots like that each year, end of April, when we're past our frost date. But I did see people online starting them with heat mats inside. And I thought, well, why don't I just try one of the winter sowing jugs, even though it was mid-March. Let's go over here. I had a few seeds left, and this was dahlias, and I'll put the date that I actually put them in. But as you can see, it worked. I have dahlia seedlings much earlier than I would have if I waited until the end of April, or last year was actually closer to the end of May when I started them in pots, but they last until the frost. So I was kind of excited to see this. I did a couple different varieties. One was the yellow short dahlias that grew from seed. I'll put a picture up about that. And those were the ones I just overwintered in that pot. And then the other line was leftovers from the floret, Bee's Choice, that I still had. This is the third year I've actually had those seeds. So I was so excited about this that I started another container with the remaining 4 seeds from floret and a couple more of mine that I had saved. The ones that did not do anything on the far left there was 2 years ago when I had some dark shades that I really liked. That was the first year I did them. I didn't know to pinch them to get more blooms that year. I only had 1 bloom on each of 2 stalks or 2 stems. And I did try to save those tubers. There's a little video about that from last year, and those were all dried up by the time I checked them out. So this will be my 3rd year with dahlias from seed, and I've tried these 2 experiments. One trying to overwinter in a pot, and it worked so far. And then starting the seedlings in the winter sowing jugs, but I didn't do them during the cold weather. These were actually early spring jugs. It just got them warmer faster so they could sprout. It's, I'll put the date on today. I think it's only April 14th today. So our frost date in this area is April 16th. Sometimes you still have to wait 2 weeks after that, so I'm being cautious. I don't want to open these up yet. They're still tiny. But it's exciting anyway. Those are my 2 dahlia experiments this year.